Hello, people. My name is Cory Kerr. This is Talk, and I drew a thing. Look, it's a thing, and I drew it. And we're going to watch a speed painting video of me coloring this thing. And I'm not sure whether to call this episode 101, because I just finished my 100 days of animation, and this is the episode right after that, or if I call this episode 1, or if I call this episode 14, because I did a few before I did 100 days of animation, so I haven't really counted, but I'm just going to go 113. Lucky number 13, plus 100. So welcome to episode 113, where today we are going to talk about post-project depression. New intro music. I don't know if it's going to stay. We shall see. Shall we? We shall. We shall. Anyway, yeah, so post-project depression. I think depression is probably a really strong term for it, but it kind of sounds like postpartum depression. So anyway, post-project depression, or at least like post-project letdown or post-project void. I've felt it now 3 times that I can think of. Probably felt it before as well. But here's what happens. You work on something a lot. And during that time, you produce or put in a certain amount of time. You're producing pages every week. You're producing drawings every day. You're animating. You're doing something. You're writing a certain number of words or whatever. And then you reach a goal or you finish a thing or whatever it is, you stop doing it. The day after you stop doing it, there's like something missing in your life because that project has become part of who you are and it's become part of your routine. It's become habitual and you feel wrong or empty or something. So the first time I experienced this, that I can remember that's applicable for this discussion, is when I started my comic. I want to learn how to draw. So I decided, what is the hardest thing that I can think of that will cause me to draw the most? And I thought, I will do a comic. You're going to do 6 to 12 drawings on every page. Lots of things that I couldn't draw at the time, like people and things like that. And then I did that. And I did that for a while. I can't remember exactly how long. And then I had to start a master's. I had to do my master's because of a number of things, but I was working at a job, and basically if I wanted to continue working at that job, I had to get a master's. So between family and work and comic and master's, something had to give. So I had to put my comic on hold. And I actually haven't started it back up. I've rewritten the story so it's a lot better, and I can draw a ton better now. I got about 60 pages into it. Anyway, if I go back, I'm going to restart it. I'm going to reboot it. In the tradition of Hollywood, we're going to reboot it, but not anytime soon. So I just felt like wrong. Like I had been putting out a page a week for 60 weeks straight. And I just felt like there's something in my teeth. Oh, that's cool. Glad that's on the internet. No edits, though. This is real, people. This is authenticity at its best. Got something in my teeth, and I don't even edit it out. Anyway, the next time I did was after my master's. So I finished my master's, and, well, this happened actually twice. So my master's took me 14 months. I took 2 5-credit classes every 10 weeks, in essence, gaining a credit every week for 14 months straight. And there's a little break for like Christmas. And I remember the first time I was just pacing the house. Like I was just bugging everybody because I was like, are we not doing anything? Is nothing going on right now? We're just going to sit here. We're just going to talk to each other. Nothing's happening. Can we do something? Can we get... My wife was like, dude, you're driving everybody nuts. Chill out. It's fine. You've just been like pedal to the metal for a really long time. You need to relax. And I was like, no, we need to make stuff, do stuff. Let's be something, do something. Let's go out there. And it was no good. So then the second time around that there was a little bit of a break, I planned for that to happen. And so I had like a project lined up. So the minute the classes stopped, I just jumped right into this project and I went with it. And then classes started back up and I was fine. Because it was literally like this. It was literally like wake up in the morning around 8 or 9, go to work all day long, come home, eat dinner with the family, put the kid to bed, go back to the office, work till usually 1 or 2, sometimes 3 in the morning, repeat 7 days a week. Except I wasn't working on Saturday and Sunday, and so I could just work all day long on my master's. Anyway, rough, right? And so it was done, and I was just like, now what? I don't know, like that had become my life's purpose in like an unhealthy way, because I probably shouldn't have gotten the master's that quickly, but I needed to. So mentally, I shouldn't have. Situationally, I needed to, and so I did. Anyway, then I jumped into 100 days of animation. I was doing stickers and illustrations for a while. It was a lot of fun. Making some stuff, it was cool. And then 100 days of animation, so I did that for 100 days. And on Monday was day 100, and on Tuesday, I woke up and I went to work and came home, hung out with the family. All of that was normal. Then I was really tired. I fell asleep at about 8. I woke up at like 1 and then I went to bed. And then the next day, same thing, went to work. And I thought, today I'm going to do stuff, right? And so Wednesday, I went to work and came home. And then I thought, hey, before I do stuff, I'm just going to play some video games. I've earned it. I've earned this day, this whatever. But I really wanted to keep going because I knew this kind of letdown feeling. So I played video games. I like video games. They're fun. But if I play too long and I don't make anything or produce anything, I feel like I've wasted the evening. Maybe that's just me, but that's weird. But anyway, I played video games for like 4 or 5 hours. And then I was tired. And I went upstairs and I was like, this sucks. I don't like it. You know, my wife was like, what's wrong? And I said, I don't know. Yesterday I just fell asleep, and today I just played video games. I haven't done anything in 2 days. She's like, you did just do 100 days in a row. And I was like, I know, but this is lame and I don't like it. So anyway, so then Thursday, I came home, did a bunch of things, mowed the lawn, did stuff. Like there was stuff to do and I did it. And then I colored the first part of this, and I finished the next part on Friday. But I colored the first part of this. I spent a couple hours on it, and I felt really good. Really good. And I've actually heard other creators talk about this. Jason Brubaker talks about how he went into a depression for a couple of weeks after the first time he finished Remind, book 1. And it went to print, and he was just like, oh, I don't know what to do now. Anyway, so the answer is not a super long project. You can't jump in. So if you come off, okay. So for 100 days for me was awesome. I learned a ton. I feel very confident in what I know about animation. There's still a lot more that I can learn. I'm not saying that I know everything, but I know enough to do 80 or 90% of what I need to do, and the other 10 or 20% is I can pick it up really fast because I have a very solid foundation now, right? And I know that sounds silly just saying I'm 100 days into it, but I can rig characters really fast. I can do simple looping animations pretty quickly. Intuitively, I'm starting to get to the point where I can plan out when I'm sketching in my sketchbook what things need to be like so that they work correctly and don't cause me problems in the end game when I illustrate them and then put them into After Effects. And so I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on it. And so that's awesome. The problem with it was I didn't close any loops. I had intended on finishing my short film. Didn't even come remotely close. Didn't animate a scene. I had intended on then after that animating a trailer for the short film, like getting all the scenes together that I would need to do a trailer. Not a chance. And then I said, I'm going to get some animatics. I'm going to get the animatic done. And I got some major scenes in the animatic done, and I feel pretty good about that, but I didn't complete anything. And so the satisfaction of like finishing, the satisfaction of a completed loop, imagine that you've got all these plates spinning on sticks and you just start new ones, but there's still old ones spinning. Mentally, you become spread pretty thin in your attention. And that's kind of what it feels like when you don't complete anything, is you just have a bunch of unfinished projects that are just kind of in the back of your mind. My comic is still bugging me that there's another 75 to 100 pages to finish that story. It's a great story. I told it so poorly and drew it so poorly. But anyway, in the back of my mind, I want to finish it. I've got a bunch of other stories that I haven't started that I want to finish. But then completion, climax, the idea of bringing something to a close, closing those loops, there is a significant motivation and level of satisfaction that comes with that. And so the one time, and now the second time, that I've been able to bounce out or avoid this kind of post-project emptiness that comes with the vacuum of something that's being taken up a huge portion of your life and then stops. There's one thing that I've found that works really, really well. A project that you can finish, start to finish really fast. Like 48 hours to 72 hours max. Better yet, if you can do it in, and I'm not talking about time hours, I'm talking about days. Like, I'm not talking about you at the table drawing for 72 hours, right? Because that could last months depending on your schedule. But I'm talking like a 6-hour project, and if you can get something done in like 6 to 10 hours and you do that over 1 to 3 days, that helps a lot. And so this is what you're looking at. I had sketched this when Carrie Fisher died. I had an idea that what I really liked about this particular scene, and it's kind of controversial, right? She's being objectified. She's often called Slave Leia, and she's in a slave outfit and whatnot, and this metal bikini. As an actress, she's spoken about how she kind of is not a huge fan of this outfit and how she's been objectified and whatever. But what I particularly like about this is it represents somebody who's oppressed, that uses the chains of their oppression to free themselves, like uses the system that was put there to subject, to actually overthrow their oppressor, right? And so she actually literally and metaphorically uses her shackles to kill her slaver, right? And there's something empowering that I really like about that. Like, Luke didn't have to jump in. Han didn't have to jump in to do stuff. She saw stuff happening and was like, oh, all right, I'm going to kill this guy now. Anyway, and that's why I've named it the Huttslayer. And there's going to be a little title at the bottom. But this is something that I could finish quickly. I have a lot of drawings in my sketchbook that I would still have to ink or do something like this, but I needed to close the loop. I needed to bring something to a climax and conclude. I needed to be done with something. And it feels really good. I was really happy with where I got it yesterday night, and I was pretty happy with where I got it this morning. And it still looks good, and now I'm seeing like anatomy issues, and like normal, it's been a few hours, some time has passed, and now I'm starting to dislike it. But the feeling of completing something and finishing a project is nice, and that is one thing that I really, really like about illustration. Animation's fun, but it is a long, hard road. And I look at stuff like that Emoji Movie, which I can't imagine any way that is good. And I feel so bad for what I can only assume are teams of exceptionally talented programmers and animators and riggers and texture artists and illustrators and writers spending years of their life on this movie that I doubt very many of them are like, yeah, the Emoji Movie. And that sucks. But you know what? You can get a lot of bad drawings out pretty quickly until they start getting mediocre, until they start getting a little bit good, until they start getting a little bit better, and then you occasionally nail one. And this is one of the better ones that I've done. It's definitely got problems, but it's one of the better ones I've done. But with that, I can start and finish within a few days. Even with full-time work, full-time dad, full-time husband, and all the other things that I'm doing with friends and whatever else, I can still get in enough hours in a 3 to 7 day period, depending on the complexity of the drawing, to finish in a week. And that's cool because then you have a consistent output, which is nice, but also there's all of this success, these short-term successes of being able to deliver stuff, shipping things, as they say. And so that is why my new schedule, I'm going to finish this animated film, but my new schedule is going to be less hectic, and I'm going to finish 2 drawings in color a month. So every other week I'm going to do this. The reason I'm doing that is because I have to do that to keep motivated, because I was in a rut. Around day 80, I was just burnt out and tired of it and sick of it. And it's because I had not finished anything in a long time. And so now I can finish stuff, and then I can go animate some things and storyboard some things and work on some things, and I can do that for a week. And then I can go back and I can finish another thing. And then I can go back and work on the long-term project, and then I can finish a short-term. And so we're going to try out this whole oscillating long-term, short-term thing. And I'm pretty confident, based on my experience, that it's going to work. And I will keep putting out 1 or 2 videos a week. And so, anyway, if you're interested in continuing to follow along, then subscribe, hit that like button, and I hope you enjoyed this process. At some point in time, I can tell you about my coloring process, but I am using this Cintiq that you see here. Maybe you don't see it. I don't know if it's on the screen. Anyway, but you can check out my stuff, including once this goes live as far as what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably turn it into some sort of product at corykerr.com. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And so subscribe here and follow the other 2 places and share and whatnot. I had somebody share a picture of the hoodie that they got from my store today. It was fun. It's fun to see people wearing my stuff and doing things. That's cool. So if you've bought something, share it and tag me so I know. That's cool. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. I'm out.